Hello guys, in this session we're going to work on strings. Even though we had promised to do I/O today, it makes very little sense to continue with I/O because I/O is part and parcel of strings. The contents of the files is just strings. So we have to master strings first before we could start doing I/O. So what are strings? Generally in Python, if we see something in between these quotes, we call that thing a string. Or if you see it in double quotes like this, still we call it a string. There's a somewhat peculiar final way of defining strings within quotes like this, 3 quotes. So this way is used mainly when your string is going to stretch multiple lines. So for our example, we're going to use the first notation for a single string. So I'll define a string called my string. Hello there, let's program. So to access the contents of string, we use indexing, and more precisely in Python we call that indexing slicing. So we use indexes starting from the left to right is 0 to the length of the string minus 1, but starting from right to left we can also index. That one is called negative indexing and begins from -1 to the length of the string. So let's do that quickly. So that H is at position 0 and that E is at position 1 until that M, which is at position len of this string. That is, I'll say len my string -1 here, -1. Since we said we have got 2 methods of indexing, there is another method called negative indexing. Oh, that's a -1 there. Negative indexing starts at -1. That M is at -1 and that second M is at -2. So it goes until this side to the length of the string, not -1 now because it started from -1 from the right. So both ways of indexing are allowed. So let's do some examples so that we can realize the indexing of strings. Say we want to access that H at index 0. We'll just print my string 0 and see if we get that H. Let's see. Let's run that. Yes, we get the H. Let's check if when we put -1, indeed we get the last M. Let's run this. Yes, we get the last M. So working from the left to right, you can count the indexes until you get to the letter you want to access. So here, to access this T, you may have to say 5 plus 2. That T looks like it's at 7. Let's test and see if it's 7. Well, starting from 0, probably it should be at 6 then, because it starts from 0 when you start from the left. So let's run that. Yes, the T is indeed at index 6, but at position 7, shows that you started from 0. That but we can also, for some reason, want to print the whole letter or the whole word there or the whole word come. So for that, Python provides a generic way of indexing defined like so. So you use a start index and then put an end index, then put a skip number. That is the number of letters to skip before you could start taking elements of that string. So assuming you want to take that T there, we saw that it's at index 6. So if you want to take the T and then take that E and then take that other E, you'd like to say my string, then you put for a start index 6. So for the end index though, you may have to put here that 6 plus 1 2 3 4 5 plus 5, that will give you 11. Then for the skip, you'll have to put a 2 because you print after every second letter. So let's say print. Let's test this. Let's say print my string. Then you put here 6 for your start variable. Then for your end variable, let's try 11. Yeah, so you skip to you print every other second element. So you skip once and then print. Let's save and see what's the output there. We get T because it started here. Skip the H, takes the E, skip the R, take the E, then it stopped. That's how we do it. But sometimes you may like to not include the end index here. Just remove the end index. In that case, it means you start from the start index until the end, taking every second element. So let's see if that works. So it should start from T, take E again, skip the blank, take the comma, skip the blank, take the C, skip the O, take the O. Let's see what happens. See, now that's what happens, taking every other character. You can change that according to your own wish. You can put even a 6 if you want to print after every 6th element. So that's the output. So now you can also remove that skip variable. Now it means starting from index 6, print everything until the end. The skip index now, if we remove it, is implied to be 1. So you won't be skipping, you're taking in each and every occurrence of elements within the string until the end. So let's compile and see. So now every letter prints beginning from there. So now we can also, remove this, the 6, meaning we don't care where you start, just print. We don't care where you end, just print. We don't care how many characters you skip, just keep printing. So now what we're going to do is, okay, let me save first before we execute and compile. Really, this one is going to print everything, because if you don't put any start character, so the start index becomes now 0. If you don't put the end index, it's assumed to be -1. It's assumed to be the length of the string minus 1. Then the skip index is assumed to be 1 if you don't put it. And sometimes the skip index is totally ignored. So if you leave it like this, it means start from the beginning, take everything. So this is as good as printing the whole string. So you can just remove that and it goes back to the normal printing of the whole string, like so. Hello there, let's come and program. But there is something nice about this positive and negative indexing. Let's emphasize the beauty of the negative indexing. You will start taking characters from the tail or from the end. We'll take that M. So we'll start from -1. Then we're not going to specify where we end, but we can put it if we like, because in this case it has to be the negative length of my string. But let's leave it there. Python interpreter, based on the skip variable, is supposed to know that we take from -1, we keep decreasing until the negative length of my string. So let us save and see what happens there. Beautiful. That's the reverse of the string. That's how we reverse a string, starting from the end to the beginning. So we start now, the double M start, and then the H is at the end. With this, guys, this should be enough to give you a good introduction to strings. So I would like us to end here And in the next session, we'll continue discussing some more useful methods in strings. But as far as slicing and indexing, this should be enough. Thank you so much. Please subscribe and like the video so that it's more accessible to other enthusiast programmers. Thank you.